This is a totally wonderful moment in time for me, because as all of the people who are behind me and many of you in front of me know, I am thrilled to have the endorsement and the support of so many elected officials and leaders from New Jersey. I have spent a lot of time here. I look forward to spending more. And it gives me just such a great sense of momentum and energy to have this support from North Jersey and South Jersey, from the legislature, from members of Congress, from the clergy, so many others who are here today. I want to thank the state party chair, Joe Cryan. Joe, you're doing a great job, and you're leading the New Jersey Democrats to a new level. Mayor, I'm delighted to be here in your city. Elizabeth is a historic city, and you're making it not only a city of a storied past, but a great future. I want to thank my good friend, Bonnie Watson-Coleman. She knows a little bit about breaking barriers for women, because she's been doing it all of her life. And Bonnie, I'm so proud to have your friendship and your support. And to the Speaker, Joe Roberts. Joe, you'll not only be on the Christmas card list, you can come and visit from time to time. I love those reasons. You know, I am going to also recognize a few other people who are here, because I want to just mention them before I get back to my great friend and your great governor. I want to thank Representative Rob Andrews and Representative Frank Pallone, who are here. I work with both Rob and Frank. Frank has a very important position in the Congress now, where he's actually chairing one of the committees that is going to work with me when I'm president to make sure we get quality, affordable health care for every single person in New Jersey, New York, and America. Woo. And Rob Andrews and I have worked together on important issues, particularly as they affect working people. It is time that we, once again, put our priorities straight in America and make it clear that we're going to provide good jobs with rising incomes. To the vast majority of Americans, it is the middle class and working families that built this country, and Rob understands that and is fighting with me for that. And to State Senator Lesniak, I think we're in your district, and I so appreciate your support and your enthusiasm with this endorsement. And to Joe DiVincenzo, thank you so much for your leadership. To Senator Buono, thank you, Barbara, for being here. Reverend Jackson, Reverend Simmons, and everybody behind me. Let's give all of these leaders of New Jersey a great round of applause. You know, I am thrilled to have anybody's endorsement, obviously. This is a long race, and we're putting together a great campaign, but I am especially honored and thrilled to have John Corzine's, because John and I have worked together. You know, it is one thing to look at somebody from afar and follow that person in the news and maybe, you know, read about what he or she does. But when you work with somebody as closely as John and I work together in the Senate, you know, you really do build a bond and a friendship. Now, we would be friends because of that shared service, but we really became close because of what we went through after 9/11. You know, John and I did sit near each other. I was slightly ahead of him in seniority, which I never let him forget. We sat together in the back row of the Senate, where they put all the new people who come. It doesn't matter if you were the chairman of Goldman Sachs or the first lady of the country. You're back there, you know, just in line behind everybody else. But we did have a good seat. We were near the candy drawer. And so when times got tough, we could kind of go and, you know, pull a little, you know, treat out of that drawer. But we seriously went through a lot together. You know, when 9/11 hit, the whole country was, of course, sympathetic and rallied to our cause. But John and I lived it every single day. You know, we were there for the people who lost their loved ones, you know, the family members who had said goodbye to their husband or their wife that morning, or had just talked to their son or their daughter and never got a chance to say goodbye and never really understood how this could have happened in America. We were there for the people who lost their jobs and their livelihoods, you know, and we had to work on getting an agenda passed that would, number one, try to find out what happened. You know, the 9/11 Commission did not easily pass the Congress because the White House was against it. They didn't want to explore what went wrong. But John and I wouldn't give up. And thanks to that effort, we did get a commission, a bipartisan commission that was really straightforward and saying, here's what you did wrong and here's what you need to do going forward. And then John and I worked together to try to get those recommendations passed. You know, we sat together on one of the committees where I was proud to support John's legislation to make our chemical industry more secure. And boy, does New Jersey and New York have a big stake in whether we get that right. And John pushed that legislation. He was the spokesman in the Congress, and we kept running into brick walls. Well, finally, all these years later, we've got something passed, and we finally got an agreement from the administration to do what John Corzine has been saying all along. Let's do it right, but let's give states like New Jersey the power to do even more. And that never would have happened without Governor Corzine's leadership, and I am so grateful to him. You know, John was there every step of the way after Enron. He put his expertise to work in trying to prevent this from happening to other people, where companies just basically pull the rug out from employees and stockholders and everybody else because they lie, they cheat, they steal. And John Corzine was one of the major players in getting legislation passed to try to protect us going forward. Everybody who works for any company, anybody who has stock in any company, you owe John Corzine a big thanks, because he was there to make sure that we're going to try to have a better system going forward. You know, just a few weeks ago, John appeared before the committee we used to serve on together. It's called the Environment and Public Works Committee. And John was there to talk about how important it is for a coastal state like New Jersey or New York to start dealing with global climate change. You know, it is happening. It is not some abstract problem or only affecting, you know, polar bears on ice floes. It is happening. We are seeing stronger and more frequent storms. We're seeing all kinds of changes in climate and vegetation, and diseases are moving north. And so your governor was there to tell the Congress to do the right thing. And he talked about what he's doing along with the legislature and county executives and municipal leaders like the mayor to begin to deal with this threat. Well, today, John, we had a big victory because the United States Supreme Court said, guess what? Carbon dioxide should be regulated. It should be regulated because it's a pollutant, and we should start dealing with global climate change. So John has been on the forefront of so many of the big issues that affect New Jersey and affect this region and affect the country. And I'm running for president because I want to get back to setting goals for our country. You know, I'm old enough to remember when we had presidents who set goals. You know, I can remember President Kennedy saying we were going to send a man to the moon and bring him back safely in the decade. I didn't know how that was going to happen. I never doubted we'd do it because that's what we did. We were Americans. We solved problems. We rolled up our sleeves. We took on the toughest challenges. Well, what are our goals today? You know, if your grandchild or your child asks you, well, what is America trying to do today? What's our answer? We need to get back to the America that we all grew up in, that we were so proud of. We need to set the goal of universal health care coverage. Let's make health care affordable and available to every single American. We need to set the goal of energy independence. We can do this. Don't listen to the naysayers in Washington. Listen to your governor. Listen to me. Listen to those who say, not only do we have to move toward energy independence, we have no choice. We cannot be dependent on unstable areas of the world, and they take our money, which we use to buy their oil, and then they use it against us. You know, this is for our security. We cannot wait. We also need to do it because it's going to be good for the environment. And equally important, we will create millions of new good-paying jobs for people here in Jersey and New York, across the country, because when we put people to work with new, green, renewable, alternative energy, with cleaning up the environment, those will be good-paying jobs. So we need to set these goals, and then we need to reach them.